Another reason that I commonly see is that people are using the wrong product. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of different products that people use. And if you're using the wrong product on the substrate, it could have a problem. Like if you just put a straight acrylic latex on a galvanized metal, it's going to fail. You do need a special primer. You don't need a primer for every job, but you do need to understand that different products go on different substrates, and there is a system involved with that application. It is a fine art, and there's a lot of different products. But the number one reason that I believe most paint failure happens these days is because of poor preparation. If you're looking for a professional painter, you want to ask them about their preparation. And their estimate or quotation system should show a very thorough and detailed preparation system, because preparation is a huge part of the job. I would say it's at least a quarter of the job most of the time. Now, if you're just repainting a room or something, it may not be that much, but for an exterior of a house, if it's pretty bad, prep is a huge chunk of the paint job. And then you have the production, which is the paint, and then you have the finishing and the cleanup. And so there's different stages of the painting that make up a huge project. For poor preparation, specifically for exteriors, most failure I see has slime or green underneath it, which means that algae is growing underneath it. And that's most likely because they didn't wash it properly. They didn't power wash, power rinse, they didn't scrub, they didn't use a TSP or a cleaner, and they just kind of painted over it. What happens is, pardon me, it looks good. It looks good for a day or two or a month or a year, but then all of a sudden something catastrophic happens and it just starts peeling off. You're like, what the heck? We just had the house painted 2 or 3 years ago. When I see poor preparation, I know that that paint is going to fail. And in my experience, which is over 20 years of professional house painting, it's rarely the paint that causes the issue. It's usually the environmental issues, all the other issues I talked about, the substrate adhesion issue, but it's usually the painter's fault. And they didn't properly prep it. They didn't properly clean it. For example, the interior of your house, you can't paint over dirt. You can't paint over dust. And the spaghetti that flew on the wall, you just can't paint over that, because when you paint on the spaghetti sauce is still wipes off of the substrate. So it's not going to stick. You do at least want to sand the surface, scuffs it up. You generally want to clean it, and you want to clean it from mold spores, algae growth, all sorts of natural bacteria that's outside, grime from the road. If you live close to a road, believe it or not, there's a lot of debris and dirt that flies up onto your house. So you do want to wash it. You do want it to dry properly, because if you paint it too soon and it's still wet, you can have paint failure. The moral of the story is that if you're going to find a professional painter, you want to make sure that they have a preparation process in their details, in their estimates, when they talk to you. You might want to ask them what their process for preparation is, because preparation is a super important part of having a lasting quality paint job. My name is Paul, and I'm from Trusted House Painter. If you want more information like this, you can go to trustedhousepainter.com. We've got a ton of blogs. We also got a YouTube channel that we have. Or you can just go to trustedhousepainter.com and you can post your project. You can find local painters near you. Or you can call me at 1-866-724-6818, and you will be directed straight to local painters, professional painters near you.